Hi friends, I hope you all are doing wonderful. I hope you all have had a wonderful week. And today I'm here to speak about the solar eclipse that's going to occur on the 10th of June. Okay, so this is going to be the first solar eclipse of the year, and it is going to be what is called the annular solar eclipse. Okay, so annular solar eclipse means it is not a complete covering of the sun. This is a very beautiful solar eclipse wherein the moon is covering the sun. However, the ring is left, and this ring looks very beautiful. So when you're watching the eclipse online, don't watch directly. It looks very beautiful. It's called the ring of fire. So let's get to the point. This eclipse is occurring in the sign of Taurus in Mrigshira Nakshatra. So I come from Vedic astrology point of view. I haven't studied the Western astrology so much. So this is happening in the sign of Taurus in the Mrigshira Nakshatra. And in the sign of Taurus, we also have, along with the sun, we have moon, we have retrograde Mercury, and we have Rahu, which is already stationed in Taurus. Okay. So now this eclipse, it's a little bit interesting because on one hand, see, both are sun and moon, both are impacted here, because sun is of course eclipsed and moon, it is a new moon. Okay, so moon on one hand is exalted, moon is exalted in Taurus, but on the other hand it is also new moon. Okay, so you have the positive effect of moon as well as you have the negative effect of moon. So what can this mean? This basically means that the emotions will be intense. Okay, the emotions that come up during this time will be intense, they will be deep, but they will be very powerful and very transformative. Okay, not necessarily a positive experience, it can be a positive experience if you handle it that way. We have retrograde Mercury here. Okay, we have retrograde Mercury in this eclipse, so we need to be careful regarding our communication with people, because communication can also cause traumas. We have to be careful regarding our devices, communication devices breaking down, like PCs and whatever that you have, because Mercury is retrograde, and if you have karma with Mercury, then these things can happen. Because actually what happens during eclipses is that blockages come up, old blockages come up. And Taurus being the second house, okay, we are talking about family relationships and family attachment. Okay, now there are some people who are not so attached to their families, and there are some people that are deeply attached to their families. Okay, and this attachment comes from a very deep place. It's kind of hereditary. The attachment I'm talking about is sort of hereditary. Okay, so it's like this person or whoever we are considering is deeply attached to their family, maybe because they come from a very famous family, or there is something particular about that family, so they are very attached. So that kind of attachment we see to family, because Rahu denotes attachment. Okay, and Rahu is in Taurus. Okay, since this is happening in the second house, it involves the throat chakra. Okay, so you might have to do some cord cutting work on the throat chakra, improve your communication patterns, ask for better communication in your relationships, be it professional, personal, especially professional. Okay, and yeah, second house meaning wealth, family wealth. So be careful regarding investments. If this eclipse turns out to be negative for you, then you could lose family wealth, or you could gain family wealth. This also could mean profits in investments, losses in investments. Okay, share markets ups and downs. And although this eclipse will not be visible in India, the eclipse is happening and the effects will be there. the effects will be slightly less, but the effects will be there. Okay, and the signs that are most going to be affected by this eclipse will be Taurus ascendant and Taurus moon, and Scorpio ascendant and Scorpio moon. Okay, because 7th from Taurus. Okay, so it's the opposite. Okay, so we can see Scorpio as the shadow side of Taurus. Okay, so both will be affected, and if Scorpio is affected, what are we talking about? We are talking about unconscious mind patterns. Okay, so that said, let me come to another very interesting point that I want to discuss to you. So discuss with you. I'm sorry. So what do we mean by eclipse? Okay, I'll tell you something very interesting, and a lot of people don't speak about this. This is an insight that I just got before making this. So, eclipse basically means we usually have the lunar eclipse and we have the solar eclipse. Okay, so eclipse really means loss of parts of who you are. You know, eclipse really means a loss of your soul part. Okay, so if the moon is eclipsed, there are parts of your divine feminine that you have lost or that are wounded. If the sun is eclipsed, there are parts of your divine masculine that are lost or eclipsed. Okay, and when eclipses happen, they say that the demonic forces grow stronger, because when there are holes in your aura, when there are certain parts missing from your masculine side, there are certain parts missing from your feminine side. Of course, what do we attract? We attract psychic cords and we attract demonic entities. Okay, we attract these negative people around us, these attachments. Okay, so this is why in the Hindu culture it is said that when the sun is eclipsed, when the moon is eclipsed, negativity increases in the environment, as well as if this eclipse occurs in your chart, it is very bad for the soul, because there is major soul wounds happening over here. Okay, another part to remember is when we are having this solar eclipse, the effect of the eclipse will start around a week before June 10. Okay, and the effect will last till December, till the end of November, December. The effect will last. Usually the eclipse effect lasts around 4 to 5 months. Okay, but a lot of people are saying that this effect will last till December. Okay, because this is a major eclipse, and also this eclipse is such that the impact on the personal level is more rather than on the collective level. Okay, why is this so? Because we are talking about Taurus here. Okay, and Taurus refers to the second house, which is the family unit, which is all about personal life. Okay, so the impact on your family relationships, you know, and of course ancestral karma, okay, will be high. And one thing we really need to be careful, friends, during this time is that uh, be careful of traumas repeating themselves. Okay, because when we have the solar eclipse, okay, the atmosphere is quite negative, and you can find that certain traumas might repeat themselves. So you basically have to protect your energy. Okay, you have to protect your energy and make sure that negative things don't occur. You have to protect your chakra system, especially for the twin flames. Okay, because the twin flames are more targeted than normal people. Okay, because the twin flames have a mission on this planet, and demonic forces don't want this to happen. So I really ask and request my community to take good care of themselves, especially all the divine feminines. They take good care of yourself, protect your energy, because the eclipses, whether it's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, can be very negative times, and especially a solar eclipse. More than a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse is more dangerous. Okay, because the sun represents the soul and the moon represents the mind, the personality. Okay, so when they say the enlightenment happens, when enlightenment happens, the personality merges into the soul. Okay, that doesn't mean the personality or the individual gets annihilated, but they both work in a beautiful relationship. You know, they coordinate very well together. Okay, so that said, I think I've spoken a lot about the situation that we are going to have to expect. Just protect your energy. And one more thing I would like to advise is it will be better if the divine feminines, or what we like to call the awakened spiritual energies in the pair, uh, just give space to your divine masculine, okay, or your divine feminine. Whoever the spiritual twin needs to take note of this. Just give space for your partner, because at this time some deep soul triggers are going to happen for them. And if you are around, instead of processing the trigger, they might try to project that energy on you, okay. So if they have something negative coming up and they experience that pain, the way they might deal with the emotion is by trying to transfer that karma into you, trying to transfer that pain into you, okay. So it's better that you all don't interact with each other. And if you all are interacting with each other, just come from a very high level of awareness, okay, so that you are not caught unawares, okay. So in case such negative interactions, because also Mercury is retrograde, so be careful regarding communication. So if such negative incidents do happen between couples, twin flame couples, you all know how to take it, you all know how to handle it, and you all are prepared in advance for it, okay. So that was regarding keeping distance with your twin flame during this time. And the distance could be maintained like for at least around 10 days, I would say, around June 10, okay. But one very interesting thing is there is that when your blockages are meant to come up, they will come up somehow, even if you're prepared, even if you're maintaining distance, if you're not doing your sadhana, if you're not doing your spiritual work, then usually the blockages are mirrored through the relationship, either with your twin or through anybody else, mostly through your twin. So this could be times when the DMs come back again, contact you again, and there's another trigger, and you have to work with it. You have to process it, and for that reason, your energy could get slightly imbalanced. So you can prepare in advance for that. Okay. And another thing is coming back to Moon in Taurus. Okay. Moon, first of all, it's a new moon, and it is in Taurus. Okay, so we are talking about some really deep, emotionally intense situations. Okay, so you could have triggers that are really emotionally intense over here. Okay, so be prepared for that. And you know how to, I think most of you know how to process the triggers, process the emotions that come up. And if you need help, you can contact me. My number is given below. If you need some sessions, you need to understand the relationship, if triggers come up for you, then you can contact me and book a session with me. Okay. And yeah, so the effect of the eclipse will last till December. And okay, so what is going to happen during this period of time from June to December? Okay, from June to December, on a personal level, what is going to happen mostly is, the deep soul wounds. Okay, we are talking about the solar eclipse, okay, which is the soul. Okay, and most of the soul is unconscious. In normal average human beings, depending on how much work you have done, most of the soul is unconscious. Okay, so we are talking about unconscious mind healing. So your pains, your wounds, these are what will come up from June to December, and will come up for healing and transformation. So yeah, this is in regards to your unconscious mind, healing those deep unconscious wounds. Okay, and that brings you to the next level in your life, that helps you to activate your DNA, that helps you to balance your masculine energy, both for the divine feminine as well as for the divine masculine. Okay, and let's come back to sun moon in Taurus. Okay, now Rahu is in Taurus, Mercury is retrograde in Taurus. See, Taurus is also a sign of materialism. It's a sign that is ruled by Venus. it is a sign of stability, it is a sign of material wealth. Okay, so those people who are Taurus moons, Taurus suns and Taurus ascendants, okay, or those people who have many planets in Taurus, they will relate to what I'm saying. Okay, these people have a deep unconscious priority on material things, which is a great quality. Okay, because everybody loves material things and we are here in this material world to enjoy the material life. Okay, but this material focus shouldn't come from a place of trauma. Okay, when material focus comes from a place of unconscious trauma, whether it is generational or whether it is childhood, whether it is past life trauma, then there is an imbalance in the system because you're basically operating off of trauma patterns and unconscious patterns. Okay, rather you need to examine your relationship with stability and wealth. Okay, you can go deep into this. Okay, you can spend a lot of time on this. So just examine your relationship with wealth, with pleasures. And also when it comes to wealth, it shouldn't be something that you are seeking out to seek external validation. Wealth should be enjoyed because you love the feeling of wealth. Okay, because wealth makes you a very resourceful person, wealth makes you a powerful person, and you can create change in the society. Okay, not because you're looking for acceptance, or not because you're trying to, you know, mask up certain defects in your life with wealth. Okay, because that gives results to manipulative behaviors in your circle, in your friend circle. Okay, so then we come to situations where wealth is used negatively, you know. All right, so that is your relationship with Taurus, sun moon in Taurus. And Venus also. Okay, when we talk about Venus, let us talk about pleasures. Okay, what is your relationship with pleasures? Okay, are you using pleasures, or are pleasures using you? This is a very interesting way to see it. Are you using pleasures, or are pleasures using you? Because sometimes we get so lost in pleasures that we don't know when that pleasure has destroyed our body mind. Okay, like sometimes I'm talking about addictions. Like sometimes we take to pleasures like sex, we take to pleasures like shopping, we take to pleasures like alcoholism. Okay, and this damages our system. Okay, even such a thing like sugar. Okay, so now there is a lot of awareness around sugar. Some people are saying there are talks that sugar damages you more than alcohol damages you. Okay, damages your system. So we have to be very careful regarding our food patterns, because Taurus also rules food, Venus rules taste of the food, and you know, all these exquisite foods that we have, not the simple foods. Simple foods are ruled by moon and simple foods are ruled by Saturn. But we have, when we are talking about this exquisite foods, that is ruled by exotic foods, that is ruled by Venus. So examine your relationship with pleasure as well. Okay, so that is the second house, Taurus. Okay, now let us talk about the sun again. See, when sun is eclipsed, we are talking about soul fragmentation, as I said at the start of this video. So at this time, this is a really good time to work on your solar plexus chakra. Okay, look at the blockages in your solar plexus chakra, because the solar plexus chakra also determines the level of energy in your body, the level of energy you have during the day. Because as you know, the sun denotes the energy, the sun gives us energy. Okay, so solar plexus denotes how much energy you have, and then we can also talk about how much energy you are allowing people in your life to drain off you. Okay, so here we need to exercise some control in our relationships. We need to look at patterns of how we are managing our relationships, how we are opening up to people. Okay, because relationships are basically governed by the heart chakra. Okay, but opening up to relationships and managing relationships is governed by the solar plexus chakra. Okay, so if you have blockages in the heart chakra, your solar plexus will be out of balance. If you have blockages in your solar plexus, your heart chakra will be wounded. Okay, So we need to balance both these chakras, and since Mercury is involved, we have to balance the throat chakra. So there is a lot of emphasis on the throat chakra due to the presence of Rahu in Taurus. Okay, and opposite Taurus, we have Scorpio, which is the eighth house. So it usually refers to unconscious dynamics that control our communication patterns, unconscious dynamic that controls our family attachments. Okay, so it's time to cut cords from your solar plexus. It's time to cut out people from your life that are draining your energy instead of being, in a balanced energetic exchange, and also to examine your patterns around relationships. Okay, so that said, another very interesting part of this video that I want to talk about is a lot of twin flames can experience their divine masculines awakening, and this is a very, very beautiful event that could happen because this is a very powerful solar eclipse. Okay, and Sun denotes the divine masculine. Okay, planets like Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Mars, they denote your divine masculine. All right. So a lot of twin flames, a lot of divine feminines can expect their masculine twins to go through an awakening. But again, remember, awakening is a process. It doesn't mean he awakens in a day or a month. It's a process, and it will depend on the individual karma that your soul carries, and it will depend on how you manage the relationship and the energy exchange, how fast your twin awakens, how deeply your twin awakens. Okay, so remember, it is a process. In the twin flame journey, we have the awakening, and then we have the soul merge, which is also known as the rebirth. Okay, which is also known as the Kundalini rebirth. Okay, so some pairs will not experience the Kundalini rebirth. They will just experience the awakening and the reunion. Okay, but those that are star seeds and those that are illumined to influence, those that are 5D souls, they will experience the soul merge and they will experience the Kundalini rebirth. Okay, which is the Merkaba activation. So that depends on your soul and the journey of your soul. What's your soul plan, your individual soul plan? Okay, so a lot of divine masculines will be going through heart chakra awakenings. Okay, so as we know, most of the divine masculines, they have blockages in their throat chakra, which can be seen through Mercury, uh, Rahu and Mercury in Taurus. Okay, with Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde or Mercury in Scorpio is having, it's like the same effect. If you have Mercury retrograde in your chart, or if you have Mercury in the 8th house, it is similar. It's not very same, it's similar. Okay, so yeah, so a lot of divine masculines, their heart chakra blockages will be released, throat chakra blockages can be released, third eye chakra blockages can be released. Okay, so that is why I'm talking about the divine masculines awakening during this solar eclipse, but don't expect it to happen on that day itself. It can happen a week before the eclipse, it can happen in the months, 2-3 months, but for sure it will happen. Something important will happen during that month, like say June. I'm sorry, June. If the eclipse is occurring in June, something important will happen in that month itself, which will cause your divine masculine to awaken. Okay, so let's come now to the DFs. Okay, so what the DFs is supposed to do is you have to really meditate on your solar plexus. Okay, you have to cut out negative people in your life. You have to give space to your twin flame so that he doesn't drain you, he doesn't project his issues on you. You have to give him time to heal and balance his feminine energy while you balance your masculine energy. Okay, and there is another aspect about the twin flame relationship, which is, when you are overly focused on your twin actually cannot focus on you. Are you aware of that? Okay, if your energy is too much focused on the twin, he cannot focus on you. Okay, but if most of your energy, say 80% of your energy, is focused on yourself, your health, your support network, your goals, your career, your finances, when your energy, majority of your energy is focused on yourself, that is when your twin starts to focus on you. Okay, so don't prevent your twin from focusing on yourself, on you, by your energy being focused on him, because it is about the solar plexus we are talking about here. And your solar plexus goes out of balance when your energy is not held within yourself, and it is not directed towards your goals. So for that reason, you have to work on this aspect. You have to cut the psychic cords. Okay, because as long as you have negative people in your life, forget the reunion. It's not going to happen. Even if the negative people are your family, you have to cut them out, and you have to create a soul family. Okay, because in 5D we want love, we want real love, and love is balance. Love is not deception, love is not energy drain, love is not dependency, it's not codependency. Love is the union of the masculine and the feminine, okay, without any eclipses, as in without any soul fragmentation. Okay, so this is what I would like to say for today, and I would like to leave you with this today. Think about what I have said and stay safe during this period. Do your work, and during the eclipse day, you can pray to the sun, you can pray to the moon, and you can send your positive energy to the sun. Okay, you have to give energy to the sun because the sun is eclipsed. Okay, the sun is eclipsed, so you have to give your energy to the sun. You can say, you can dedicate hymns to the sun, you can pray to the sun, and same thing with the moon. You can dedicate hymns to the moon, you can make offerings to the moon. Okay, you can say the mantras of the moon. Okay, basically you have to energize the moon and you have to energize the sun, because when you energize these external celestial planets, you're energizing your own masculine and feminine aspects within yourself, because it's the same thing. Your internal sun moon is connected to the external sun moon. Okay, so I would like to end this video now, and if you like this video, please give it a like, please share, please subscribe. Also check out my artworks down, and you can buy my artworks, you can ask for a print. If you need a consultation, you can contact me, the number is given below. And have a lovely week and take care of yourself.